What's up, guys? What's up, Michael?
Hey, buddy, how are you?
Oh,
RT says hello.
there
He's
you
excited.
go.
How's my boy?
Good, man.
Good, man.
Excited to hang out, and we got lots of cool things to talk about today.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. I've been in a tank top all day, just
I know you look kind of sexy there.
I know. I just San Diego's going through like this heat wave, which is rare, right? We're used to like the nice 70s,
What's
and
the heat wave, Gabe? What's the heat wave, buddy? I mean,
so
we've been sitting at 106, 107. Just
no,
curious, what is
I
your
think
heat?
the highest today that I saw was 101,
Ah,
but it was around in the upper 90s. But that's still, I mean, for us, that's
yeah.
not.
It's
I'm sure
dry.
like Janine's on here. She knows what's up. She's
Yeah.
yeah. We're spoiled here, man. I'm telling you.
Yes, y'all are.
So yeah, we got a bunch of our buddies already jumping on.
Yeah,
We got,
welcome, guys. Welcome to see
yeah, Jose. What's up, Jose? Janine. Hi, Janine. McFly. Got Joel. What's up, Joel?
Hey, Joel.
Yeah. Master Razi. What's up? Got Sean. Yeah, Sean knows what's up too. He's here locally too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris. What's up, Chris? How you doing? Sean. What's up, Sean? Yeah. What's up, Luke? How you doing? Star Wars Bloke. How you doing?
Hey, brother. How are you, man?
Armando, what's up? Scott, what's up, Scott? Ken, got Big Cat Pete. What's up, Pete?
Good to see you, Pete.
Looking like Biff from Back to the Future.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Does he wear a tank? Is that?
Mm.
Oh man. What's up, Russell? How you doing? I know, right? I'm like, no, I got hit up so many times today just because we went to like IKEA. We were just kind of doing just random things. And I got hit up so many times about Jaws. I was wearing this Jaws tank top, and everyone's like, "Man, I love that movie." And this like old security guard was like, "That's the movie that really got me into film." And I was like, "Oh,
Oh, that's
great,
cool.
man. That's awesome."
Yeah, it's funny. I was just talking about Jaws with the guy having lunch yesterday. He was sitting at the bar. I was sitting at a table, and
Yeah.
we were asking each other what favorite movies, and he said Jaws, and I started telling him about the one that we're making.
Yeah. Well, man, I mean, you've been busy with the restaurant.
Yeah,
Last,
things are starting to finally fall into place, and
yeah.
took a road trip to Houston this week to Delorean DMCU. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, man. I want to show some of these pictures.
Yeah.
So,
So while you're pulling those up, so a few people we talked about it. It was an idea, but Lee had sent me this photograph of a DeLorean in this Chicago restaurant. I believe it was Chicago, and man, talk about seeing that and getting just. I mean, I was just in complete like, holy crap! I've got to have that. But yeah, that's in Houston. That's the actual DeLorean. Headquarters right there. There's one in California, but it's a franchise. But this is the legit one. But look at those fenders. That's all original parts from Ireland. So I mean, I was hurrying there, Gabe, not knowing because I needed 2 rear quarter panels.
yeah,
And I thought, they were going to sell out because they were brand new or from the original
right.
stock. And then I get there and I see all those quarter panels. I'm thinking those are going to be there for quite a while. But I was able to find me a good piece, and there's this is all original OE stuff, not remanufactured. So this is, those are the last of the Mohicans on the frames, and it's the wood shop. But it's pretty cool going in there. They don't do tours. It's not open to the public. So it's pretty cool going. What's up, Matt? But yeah, it was really cool going there, and when I was telling them. What we were doing, they kind of turn their heads to this kind of stuff because they're all about, keeping them on the road. And, but when I was telling him what I was doing, there's a girl there that runs this show. Her name's Nicole, and she was super classy. And I got all original, cool parts, new headlight. Tail light. And I ordered my license plate, my out of time license plate yesterday.
Nice.
Right, Gabe? But yeah, guys, so it's been pretty cool. So what we're gonna do is I went over to my fabricator, Brandon, and we're gonna be recreating the DeLorean Back to the Future, the original one, and we're gonna have him crash into a clock tower, similar close over by the bar, and he's gonna do his own thing. So I'm real excited to see what he puts together. And once he gets the actual car and everything together, then I'll start working on the prop replica pieces to put it all together in the rear. You know what I mean?
Now, Michael, I know, because speaking of the restaurant,
Yeah.
Jason Eaton kind of did a new design. Is that going to be official? You're going to use that?
So that's really cool. You brought that up because I would love to show everybody and get their feedback.
Yeah.
You know, so we came up. Everybody knows I was enthused by Joseph's Dark Side. It was going to be called the Brick Oven Pizza Company. Bernie Brick Oven Pizza Company. Then Joseph came up with the Dark Side, and then so it's the illegal name is Dark Side Brick Oven Pizza Company. And now Jason threw a wrench in it and shot this to me, and I was like, oh crap. And then I sent it to Gabe. We have to incorporate brick oven pizza, and Gabe was helping me on that. But you guys in the chat, tell me what you guys think. I mean, is that a slice of pizza or what is that? But I think it would be really cool. What do you think, Gabe?
I love it. I mean, I think it's like it plays off kind of the theme of it, right? But plus it looks like a pizza slice. But like for anyone that would know, they're like, okay, that's a Star Destroyer. But it's
holy crap. I'm looking at this logo, guys. So let's just say if we went with this, and this would all be backlit. So it'd be like floating letters, but seeing the Star Destroyer the way it is, what if the slice of pizza where it is, where if it wasn't a slice of pizza, where the 3 engine bells would be in the back, just to have a glow of like blue lighting in 3
like on the actual logo, that would look cool.
Yeah, so it'd be backlit, but it would be kind of like blue back there.
Yeah.
But like white everywhere else.
That would be pretty bad.
Damn.
Yep.
But yeah, a lot of people have been reaching out about, hey, I wouldn't mind, throwing out an idea. And it's been really fun, hanging out with all my friends and you guys. And this is fun working with y'all on this, I'm excited about it. But yeah, you like it though, Gabe?
I like it. I really do. Yeah. It's like very kind of like, I don't know, kind of modern, right? It's like a modern look for it because it's simple, but it's like very like.
And it'll go with the building because the building's very modern looking as well. You like it, Armando? Good deal.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, man, I can't wait to kind of see it kind of start moving forward. And
yeah,
like you're almost there, right?
Almost there to break ground. So it'll start coming together soon. We're ready to go. So the building side, that's where I'm good at. So it's just dealing with the stupid city.
Yeah,
they've been a nightmare. So
oh man, well we got a couple of guests today, right, Michael? We have Izzy. Izzy's going to join us to talk about a very special project that we announced, a couple months now ago, right? On the show.
It's been about 4 weeks ago, actually.
Yeah. So we have Izzy here with an update. So I think, should we bring him on, Michael?
I'll tell you what, he's been waiting backstage for quite a while. But before we do bring him on, guys, I just want you guys to know that, this is another really cool, exclusive through Collection Wars. It's cool how we started doing these things and what's become of it, right, Gabe? And this one's another 6 scale piece, which is really cool, the Detention block. And this guy doesn't miss when it comes to, details. He's very particular, and everything that he's ever done for me, he's come through with flying colors, and he expects nothing but the best, and that's what I love about him. And he's just a cool dude to know now. And man, he just lives and breathes 6 scale, and this kind of shows it. But but yeah, let's bring that guy on and talk about this piece that we are gonna go
Yeah.
live tonight. And there's only 15 of these things, and
Yeah. Let's
just
bring
bring
him
him
on.
on and talk about it.
Hey guys.
What's up, Izzy? How you doing?
Hey.
What's up, brother?
Gosh, man, thanks for having me back.
Man.
No, thank you, man.
Hey, Gabe, I just got to tell you real quick. When I was telling, we were talking earlier, Izzy, I was like, hey, man, so we're going to bring you in. He goes, okay, but hey, it's not going to be like last time. Do you remember what happened, Gabe, last time?
Yeah, last time.
We didn't know how to turn off the
you didn't
thing.
leave any instructions. Yeah, on how to
Oh,
shut this
that's
thing down.
right. That's right. I couldn't. Yeah, I wasn't on last time. That's right.
Yeah, so I didn't know how to get off. So I ended up just coming back on and talking for 30 minutes. And I thought there was only like 3 or 4 people listening in, and there was like 30. It was hilarious. And we had a good time though. Didn't we?
Oh,
There it is. But yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, no, thank you for jumping on. And again, I'm sorry for the the confusion. I always forget because we're always like, hey, it's 7:30, jump on, and I forget that Izzy's Eastern time, so that was our bad.
Yeah.
My
Armando remembers. And hey, Steven, how you doing? Welcome.
Oh yeah, it was funny. And
bad. Yeah.
Yeah, we were having a good time.
Mike was like, "Hey, okay, is it time log off?" And I'm like, "Did you read your text?"
How do we do it?
I don't know how to do this.
I'm all blowing Gabe up and shit. I was 30
Yeah.
So-
Well, let me. I have a picture here. Let's just kind of so we could introduce it, and then Izzy could kind of go over some of the details, and then I'm sure if Izzy has the model there, we can look at it. So before, well, let's just show it, and then we can talk about it.
Okay.
All right.
Yep. What you see there, right there, is the new body style that I came up with. The original one was all gray, but in talking to a couple other people that are a little bit more familiar with the Star Wars set, was it's a little bit more of a bluish gray. So I tried to find the right color for it, and this is the closest thing we got to it. So to try to get it as accurate as possible, and it's on the new body. The lights are lit, and right now those are the old panels that I have on the new one's going to have the same exact thing. And the center panel and the right panel with the mic are going to be the ones that are going to have the 2 swap outs, because that's when I guess Han Solo blew up this one in the firefight. They shot the middle center one there. Yeah. So the left 2 will be non-swappable, and the one in between the 2 will not be swappable either. So you can have the clean version on the middle one and the right one, and you'll have the ones that are going to have damage to them. So
nice.
That's and they'll be numbered 1 through 15.
That's so cool, man.
And so the damaged ones are gonna you're kind of releasing it through collection, right, for our viewers. So it's going to be exclusively available to our viewers. Yep. And then after those 15, you're going to make these readily as well, right?
I'm not sure yet. I think right now I'm just probably because they're taking quite a bit to make. No. So I have a lot of other projects too, and I'm trying to knock these out here. So just to print the one set, it takes about a week and a half just to print a set, and that's not putting it together, sanding it, painting it, and putting the electronics in it, and so on. So I'm just gonna right now. I was talking to Mike earlier. Like I said, right now I have the one set that you see right there in front, right there, is almost complete, and I've got the panels. Let me pull these over here so I can show you. I got the sets. You can see these. They're each one will have about look, pick a card, any card. But they'll have the 5.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, they'll have 5. Oh, sorry. There you go. So I can see I'm starting to do this like this one right here. You can kind of see it has like a damaged. The color's not quite clean. It's going to have burnt marks on it, and then you have the clean panel here, which will have the microphone on it, nice and clean, just like the original one there. And then you'll have all these other ones, the center one, and then these 2. One will be damaged, and one will not be damaged.
That's cool. So you can either have the 6 scale Death Star figure in there, or you could have like Han or Luke, or actually be probably Han's super disguise.
As a matter of fact, let me show you real
And-
quick.
Michael, did you send me the picture, or Izzy? Somebody sent me the picture with Han Solo in it?
Yeah, you just saw it a second ago. This is it right now.
This is it right here.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh.
So he's 1/6 scale right here. And this is what it looks like with the lights on. Oops. Here you go. My thing won't go any further closer to that. There we go.
No, we can see it good as.
Okay.
Wow.
And then, man. So 1/6 scale. So what do you think the footprint on this is? You think about
This
maybe
is
18 by
This is actually sitting on a grid right now, and it is probably about 24 inches wide this way and about 16 inches wide from front to back.
It's so crazy when you see these things, you just can't get an idea of how big they really are. Can you go back just a little bit, Izzy, just so we can see like a wide of it?
There you go.
Yeah.
And then you got the helmet that's sitting on top here.
Yeah. Yeah, turn that thing. That is so cool. Look at the details.
Yeah.
And then on the front center, they'll have the little plaques.
Oh, that's cool.
And I took a cue from you, Gabe, the probe droid. So the bottom panel is actually, the bottom base here is actually covered with felt, so it's like a nice little thing to just sit on top of. So,
Nice.
Yep.
That's cool.
Congrats, Izzy. That's really, really cool piece. I know anybody into the 6 scales really digging this one.
Yeah. No, and it's such a just clean, kind of just simple display, and like you really only need that's it. You just need Han, and that's it.
Yeah, you could have Han sitting on one side, and arguing with Luke on the other side, and or you could have
that's so cool.
The commander on the front.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That is, yeah. Okay. So what are we gonna? Okay, so how are we gonna do this? Like, are they gonna, message you? To do that.
Yes, I prefer that I get PM'd, and I'll actually the first 15 people that have PM me that want this, just PM me that you're one of the 15 that want it, and then what I'm going to do is I probably will have the first 3 ready hopefully by next week, because like I said, I'm in the middle of. Matter of fact, let me show you the other stuff I'm working on here for it.
Yeah.
All right. You can see all the different greeblies that go on top of those panels.
Damn. Yeah,
they're all
too big.
resin printed.
Jeez.
So I got to sand them individually, paint them, pinstripe them, seal them, and then put them on top of these panels.
Wow.
So and these are just.
I remember seeing the Falcon details, the way you did the interior, the way these panels looks just as detailed, man. It's fantastic. Hey, that toy is all broken apart in pieces. Whose is that?
It's disassembled.
I was gonna say, I was like,
hey, my toy. Oh,
it's not broken.
It's not broken. Holy crap. That's my
I need to get right measurements. Don't worry, I got screwed it back together. It'll be
my God,
brand new.
everybody.
it's all.
My original toy is in pieces. What the hell is it? I know you're like, oh shit, let me get
I forgot to take that out of the corner there. But what I plan on doing is for the first 15 people to send me an email or PM that they want it. It's going to be 900 plus shipping. I don't take any money up front. That's my thing. I don't take any money up front.
Is it, what's your account? Like, is it on Facebook that you want?
Yeah, I'm on the Collection Wars, so they can PM me straight from there.
Perfect. That's actually even better. And are you under Izzy-Mel or just your
Be under Izzy-Mel or Izzy-Mel 45, I believe it is.
Okay. Well, there you go, guys. So if you're part of the in the Facebook group, obviously just shoot them a message and get that going. Did we talk price?
Yep.
Yeah, he just mentioned it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 900 plus shipping. I was asked also that if I could do payment, I could do the 3 months, 300, 300, and 300, and
Yeah.
then I'll send it out once the last payment's done.
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't take any money up front first because
Yeah.
whoever the first person who has this says, yeah, I want it. First come, first serve. I'll reach out to them. I'll send them pictures of the whole thing. And if they still want it, good. Send me a check. For some reason, I have issues with PayPal, so I'm right now just doing checks. Hopefully, that's not a burden on people. But what I'll do is I send them all the pictures and stuff like that, and if they said yes, not a problem, send me the check. Once I get the check, I cash it, and I send it out to you guys. If you don't want it after you see the pictures, just let me know, and I'll just move to the next person.
Yeah.
I have no problems because, like I said, I don't like having people's money until the stuff is done. For me, I have to build it first, and then I'll send the pictures, and then if they like it, that's great, awesome, and then I'll send it out to them.
Well, Izzy, your characters, I mean, I've been doing business with you for quite a while now, and it's been just one of the best experiences when it comes to, getting stuff done with you, man. You're always there sending me photos, and we've become great friends, and I love the collaboration and seeing the stuff when it's getting built, and your attention to detail is really, really cool, man. So
I try to do my best, man. I really do, because as many pictures as somebody has more pictures or something like that I can't, better pictures or better angles or something that I can't see. It always helps me out, and especially in designs and stuff like that. Most of the designs, I can talk to some of these actual pieces here on the actual diorama here. This actually is a cover on an aircraft that they actually use. It's actually a lever that they use. I actually got photos of the real piece, so I designed it based off of that. This is just a plunger. It's actually used in several different displays throughout the Star Wars universe. And this is an air take and vent, and I still don't know where it's from. But I've seen enough photos where I could actually design it. And then there was this other piece here that I blew up as many pictures as I could and tried to design from scratch. So
it looks really cool with the lighting hitting off his armor and stuff. That's so cool.
Yeah. So
you guys gotta cut it out.
What's up?
Oh, these guys.
A bunch of tank top jokes going on.
I don't know, it busted on me, man. So yeah, I mean, I can move the figure out of the way here so you can actually see what the actual the plate is actually removable, so you can actually see what's underneath. You can see the electronics here. So it's not much. It's just a regular PCB board, and everything's wired to LEDs on the inside here.
Man.
So it's pretty bright in there.
That's well done, man. Great job.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I remember talking to Eust over at Jazz Inc., and he's got a great respect for you too. I know that.
Oh, he does awesome work over there.
Yeah. He's really fond of your work as well. I just can't wait till my TIE Fighter gets done one of these days.
Well, yeah, like I said, I'm just gonna go back and redesign the actual interior, because I know there's more details in there that I'm missing somewhere. So
see how he is, guys. It's
gonna go back and do a better job, I guess.
Well, I've already been texted by 2 different people that I know are on board, so I don't know if you've already got the message, but I know Joseph is on board, and Matt, he's on board.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. So
yeah,
that's one project, and then I think I have the other project is on. If I could share my screen here.
Yeah.
How do you do that again?
Just on the bottom where it says share, just push share, and then whatever screen.
You don't remember?
Yeah, exactly. Share screen. All right, there we go. Share screen. Can you see my screen there? Yep, there you go. Screen. Share. Window.
There you go.
There it is. Can you see that?
Yep.
This is the other project I'm working on right now. So Can you see? I can only see my screen here.
Oh, you know what?
Do I know about this project, Izzy?
Try
You do.
a different window. Like when you open it up, you might have to share your whole screen. So
All right, let me just go back to the. See, stop sharing.
there you go.
Share screen. Share. Don't see these tips again here. I only have one monitor, man. So share screen. Share entire screen. All right, share that one. There we go. So you have it. You can see. Oh, woo.
Oh,
There we go. There you go. And there it is. You see it now?
Oh, badass.
So this
look
is
at that, Michael. Guess who that's for?
Dude, that is so cool, Izzy.
Yeah. So you got the wheels underneath. You got even the screw holes for the bottom there.
Unbelievable.
The little glass top. Hide that.
Y'all excuse me just for 2 seconds, because that's all it's going to take.
Yep.
Dude, that's really, really cool. Lee, shut up, man. I ain't taking my shirt off. That'd be disgusting. Yeah, look at that.
And then you can see all the interior here.
You guys keep it up. I'm gonna go put some clothes on.
So that's going to be the next one here that I'm working on. So there you go. So all I got to do now is just put the cannons on the front here, and it's done. And I just gotta run it off the printer. So
That's
after my
amazing.
first five of the detention center, I'm gonna run this one off for Mike.
You're awesome.
So
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that thing's going to be huge.
yeah. So yeah, it should be. We'll see. We'll see how it comes out. You know, be like it'd probably be as big as the other one was. Whoops. There you go. Yeah. So,
Well,
but that's the other project I'm working on.
That's awesome, man. I can't wait to see them all kind of lined up. Like once, you know,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all the mini rigs.
yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be really cool to see.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Man,
that's it.
Lee's in the mood tonight. I'll tell you what, man.
All these,
Sexy Wars.
all these guys. Yeah, I thought about it too. I was like, you know what? Because I've been in a tank top all day, and I was like, should I put a t-shirt on? Nah, these guys are mature adults. They're not gonna be.
You don't look like an attorney. I'm just going to tell you straight up, Dave. You don't look like that attorney.
I'm gonna go throw on a suit right now. Just
I don't
for
know
you.
if I would hire you to be, if I didn't know who you were as an attorney. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't go on a Saturday and hand out a card in your Jaws tank top.
Imagine. I'm like, yeah, here you go. Hire me. There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, don't need to come
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
Let's see.
Collection Wars.
Oh, Master Ozzy. Oh no. We talk about everything from life size. You got to go back and see some of the life size stuff too. I mean, Michael has a life size Wampa dragging Luke from Hoth. I mean, yeah.
Hey,
In the
but
112.
listen, I know what he's saying because the 112 scale is kind of left out. You know, it's kind of more of the hang tight. Yeah, but that being said, though, I know that there's a lot of people building like dioramas and stuff for the 112 scale. Did y'all see that new piece I got?
Sean asked. That's why it's like, which way is the beat? That way.
Okay, there you go.
This right there is 112 scale.
Look at that.
Wow.
Holy cow, that's badass.
Yeah.
And then I've got the complement piece. I'll get that in a second here. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this thing doesn't go that far. That's why I got to move it around.
No,
And then let me get the other one.
well, there you go, Gabe.
There it is.
Scale.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, we've never really. It's weird though that when you look at a lot of the collections that we check out my 112 AT-AT. No kidding. Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah, so I do work in 112 scale too. So this is this one.
Man, that looks really cool with the trooper.
Yeah, the doors open and close.
That's amazing.
So yeah, I do a little bit of everything.
That'd be cool to weather that one up, you know, model it up like in the film.
Yep, and the turret swings and stuff like that too. So
Did you see what's it, Master Razi? He says that check out my half AT-AT.
112 scale 18.
Yeah, have you seen it?
I have not. I think I've seen somebody, but I'm not sure if that's his or not.
Let's see. Let me see if I can find them. Is your handle the same?
Lee, you might. Is there a way that we can get rid of Lee at all, Gabe, or is there no way of doing that?
Hey, man, he's on a good one. You know, he's upset because I sent him some memes about the horrible
That's just too much.
cooking in the UK.
I got you. Dick. Okay.
Yeah. Man, no wonder why everyone says he's a dick.
I miss it. I miss it. Sorry, guys.
Oh man.
Is he? Oh, damn.
I gotta see what's let me see. SW Master Plaster. Let's see.
No, actually, those Sean asked me if those are based off the toys. Actually, they're actually based off the blueprints from the Blueprint Star Wars books.
Oh.
Oh wow. Man.
So they're like accurate, like film type.
Yep.
Of, yeah.
All right, so look.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that picture before. Is that him?
That's
That's him.
Yeah, very cool, man. Great job.
I'd like to do one in 160.
Michael, you'd be all about that diorama.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, very nice.
With Dagobah.
Yeah, we'll have to have him on sometime and shows 112.
Yeah.
We
These are
just haven't
good.
really done a lot of it.
Look at that, man.
Will he wear the helmet or will he?
Yeah, this is really cool. Yeah, we definitely should. You're right. We kind of neglect the 112. We should have him on.
I don't know really a lot of people out there that are into that.
Yeah. So his handle for you guys, SW Master Plaster.
Master Plaster.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah,
I'm really curious if we have him on, if he's going to have that helmet on or not, or if he'll reveal himself.
No.
Yeah, great work, man. That's really cool. But yeah, it's it's an honor to be able to offer your product exclusive through Collection Wars and numbered 1 through 15 and the interchangeable panels, and it's just really cool. It's the first time, right, that you've ever really done anything quite like this, where it's like a
limited numbered. Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep. Yeah, I've done a couple things in the past for the micro collection. I've done the torture chamber and the Hoth chamber prototypes that weren't released. I did a limited edition number of those.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
He'll remove it for us.
For us, right?
No, but for us, we definitely. If you here, let's see. We'll figure it out. I'm following you on Instagram, so just shoot me a message on Instagram, and then we'll figure it out. And
I've never even really seen a big. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that collect the Black Series, but you just don't see, because there isn't really a lot of.
That looks amazing.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. Fun stuff.
Yeah. Well, cool.
Yeah.
You're getting some followers out of this thing.
Yeah. Me included. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Cool. So yeah, I mean that'll be fun. That'll be a new a new little area for us to talk about. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been wanting to talk to a collector that's really big into like the Topps cards, like that has all the old, Topps.
Star Wars cards?
Yeah, either Star Wars or,
This is the only 112 figure I have.
Counters.
Right? This is 112?
Yep.
Yeah. It's the only one I got.
Hey guys, look at this. Hang on. Let me show you all this. Boom. Hang on. Boom. Show you all. Hang on a second.
What is it, Michael? Got it. Oh yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Isn't that cool?
That is cool.
Yeah, the attention to detail, like in the legs and stuff, it's really cool. I was telling a couple of the guys it'd be cool if it had like a, like the snow troopers, like a black
cape.
Yeah, half cape or something that came down. But comes with two separate sets of batteries, one that goes in the back, and then one that goes in the top of the head. It's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all starting to trickle in now. Doc Brown's coming in about a week.
Yeah.
Gabe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's from the Mandalorian series, right?
It is. Yeah, it's with Luke Skywalker, the last episode of that season where Luke comes in and crushes them all and fights them all.
Yeah. I got a couple new things. One of them I'm gonna just show briefly though, because I'm gonna do like a full, because I'm actually working with the new Novos on this one. So I'll give you guys a little sneak peek. Exclusively here on Collection.
Awesome.
All right. So
Django.
Got the Django Fett helmet. Yeah. It's the fiberglass. I mean, it's full fiberglass. Like, this thing is freaking cool. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing a kind of a full promotion and review and all that stuff. This thing's badass. Like, I mean, I sat there and I started comparing it to like the Master Replica Boba Fett helmet. I mean, the dimensions are spot on. And I also have one of the second gen castings of the Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett helmet. Again, I mean, it's spot on. So I'm kind of curious to know if they actually use that helmet as the base model or Django, right? When the original were making it for the episodes, like for the episode 2. But yeah, no, this thing is freaking cool. I didn't expect it to be this cool. And then again, I'm not necessarily a prequel fan, but I'm going to have this little section right there with bounty hunters. So it's going to be Boba Fett and then Boushh Leia, which we're going to talk about in detail today. Then Mando, and then Django Fett's going to go down on the bottom right there. Sweet. So, Marcel, man.
Excuse me real quick.
Sneak peek, nip slip, yeah, Marcel. That's next. next surprise for you guys. Big Pete. Come on, Pete. Don't pretend like you're not a prequel fan. All right, do not pretend.
I know, that's why I just went. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
You're like, yeah, prequel stuff. No,
it's cool.
Yeah, no.
You know what I think is even cooler than that?
What
is what they do to promote their products through you, Gabe, because you do such a great job with that, and it's nice that that they don't just send you an empty box. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's cool how they that's called respect, and that's a licensed company that has respect for you, and you always do a great job with that stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So yeah, that one will be a fun one to do.
Very cool. Very, very cool. I don't want to go down this dark rabbit hole of talking about EFX tonight, but I'm just curious how things are proceeding with that company right now.
No, I don't know.
Be curious. Seeing that helmet, it just made me think about that, you know?
Is that, what is it?
New creature on your back wall.
Which creature? Oh, this guy, the green one. Yeah, so the green that green one is actually so Jason from J2SO. He was kind enough to make that for me. He worked on the one the Disney Park one, so you could actually see this in Oga's Cantina. They're hanging upside down in these containers. So he got to work on those. So he knew I was a big Disney fan, and obviously got a space to put it. So he was kind enough to let me get his. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's big too. It's a big piece. I eventually want to do like an upside down container, kind of similar to the Oga's Cantina one, but again, space wise, right? Space.
Yep, that Boushh helmet looks pretty badass in the background.
That Boushh helmet is beautiful. Yeah. I mean, that thing is just like, as soon as you walk in too, it's kind of like the first thing like at eye level that you see as soon as you walk in. It's impressive. And yeah, we're gonna have Ben Huckabee, and he's gonna be jumping on around 8 right now. So in a couple minutes.
That's not 8 year time, is he?
Yeah, okay, that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
poor Izzy, man. He's like, dude, what the hell? He's like, hey, I'm backstage. What are you doing?
That sounds like you're a great husband material right there. You can't go wrong. I mean, Taco Bell is #1 Mexican food in the United States.
Okay, Joseph, I told Izzy knows he's got you down for one of the detention blocks, brother. So.
And he keep moving. Yeah, I actually dropped that idea today, because again, we went to IKEA because my oldest daughter, she's in college, but now she's going to be moving out of the dorms and getting her own little apartment with a couple of roommates. So we went to IKEA, and I started dropping the hints already. I'm like, look, that other room, I mean, I think it would be perfect for my Star Wars stuff. The kids, they could just share one little. So we'll see. The Falcon laugh. That's funny.
Yeah, it gives me a headache.
Armando, thank you, Armando, for that. Yeah, my YouTube channel is interesting. So I actually before because obviously we're gonna have Ben on here. So my YouTube channel for Star Wars replicas just hit 20,000 subscribers.
Wow.
But what the funny part is that I was kind of stuck at like about between like 15 and 18. Like it was just like always just stuck there for the last like year and a half. And I couldn't understand it, right? I was like, that's weird because like most of the time I would get consistent subs. And I realized, and I got this kind of by looking at our buddy the Padawan.
Yeah, it's crazy how fast he's grown. Like he has.
Right. His YouTube channel just skyrocketed, right? And I was trying to figure it out. Obviously, as a content creator, I'm like, well, that's really fast growth. And then when I was looking at his long format videos, I mean, they weren't getting like that more, much more views than I was. And I realized that YouTube is trying to become TikTok. And so YouTube is pushing out shorts. And obviously, I mean, on TikTok, I got the TikTok, I got that nailed down, right? Like I know all this stuff. So as of last week, listen to this, Michael. As of last week, I started posting my TikToks, like not even like new fresh videos. I literally just take my TikToks and put them on YouTube, and it was like 30,000 views, 10,000 views, 8,000 views, and I was like,
Wow.
what the hell? And all of a sudden, boom, 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 boom. I ended up getting like 1,000 subs in a week because
Wow.
because of the TikToks. And I'm like, oh man,
That's the secret.
YouTube does not know what's coming because I have 2 years worth of short 7 seconds.
How many followers do you have on TikTok?
452,000.
Wow.
I'm almost at the 500,000 mark there. And again, very, very nichey, very specific. I only talk about this stuff. I'm not doing other stuff. Like I'm not, I'm only talking about the Star Wars stuff. So which is kind of crazy that it's that nichey and it still has that big of a following. But so now I'm just gonna grab all the TikTok. I'm like, all right, YouTube, you want to be TikTok? All right, let's go. So I'm just gonna start uploading
because a lot of other channels that follow, they're gonna start doing all the same things after.
Yeah, and they should. I mean, that's what YouTube wants, which is kind of crazy. Like,
yeah,
I mean, I don't think it's as organic, to be honest. You know what I mean? As growing, like, I'd rather have a solid organic base than just like a ton of. And
that's the craziest thing too, because I've noticed that is that, if you have 20,000, or 10,000 or even some 30, they still maintain the same amount of views as like we do at 2,500 or wherever we're at, 2,300. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, yeah. So apparently that's the thing. I mean, we could start throwing up, shorts here as well if we wanted to, and just kind of do that. But again, I think I'd rather have, again, like an organic base that actually like sits here and hangs out with us every Saturday and watches our stuff, right? Rather than just people following us for those little shorts.
Yeah, just the group that we have now, I couldn't ask for anything more. The friendships from this, and that just like my Star Killer channel, I haven't been doing a lot. We're actually shooting tomorrow, but I love doing that, but I don't do it to get a whole bunch of subs, so it's great if I do. And Nico's always telling me, hey, make sure you mention the subscribe, to like and subscribe. Everybody already knows to like and subscribe, but I don't care about content. I want the best music on there. I want the best video. I don't care about getting paid or anything like that.
And that's the sad part, is that a lot of content creators put a lot of work into YouTube videos, right? In the long form, like a lot of editing, a lot of like, including myself, like those take me the longest, right, to upload. And it's really sad that YouTube's not appreciating those, that type of content, and is just trying to become TikTok. And I'm like, you're not going to compete with TikTok. I mean, as much as you guys made fun of me for the longest time.
I did. That was me, brother. That was me.
No, I know. TikTok's pretty fun.
But hey, you keep drumming out those ridiculous videos, and I'm going to continue to make fun of you, dude.
Facebook's going to die. Facebook's dying out. Instagram's dying out. And in fact, there's a whole movement on Instagram just basically asking Instagram to make Instagram again. Because what they're doing is they're pushing out all the reels, which again, they're trying to beat TikTok.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I'm seeing a lot of that too.
Yeah, everyone's trying to be TikTok, and it just you can't. It's just a whole other beast. It's a whole other animal. And in fact, all the businesses are moving on to TikTok. I just got offered $1,200 for one TikTok, one 30-second TikTok. So I mean, the power of those little short, YouTube, TikTok videos, it's insane, man. And again, as an attorney, right? Because that's what we're doing now, right? I'm focusing on helping creators and content creators, formalize their accounts and trademark their names and all that stuff. So we're dealing with content creators day in and day out, and every single one that's a business owner that's making money, the first thing they're going to tell you is you need to be on TikTok like now, So
Gabe, Gabe, a question. So when it comes to the TikTok, because I've never once been on, even just except for what I've seen come through Instagram or you sent me, is like at your 450,000 subs. Is it to subscribers? Right, so they're subs.
Yeah, followers. Yeah,
Followers.
okay.
So you're 450,000. So how hard is it now? Is it kind of like YouTube, like to be able to get to 450,000 is like almost impossible?
Yeah. It's, I mean, even now, like pushing that, like I have an average of like, I mean, 1 out of every 10 videos like hits either over 500,000 or over 1 million views for me. But again, with that type of following, you would expect that, right? You would expect that at least a quarter of my following would be watching, the stuff. But it's actually hard to get those numbers. And I jumped in, I think, early enough, like in 2020, when everything was just kicking off. So I got lucky, and I got into the kind of algorithm, and I got my base kind of early on. But yeah, and then TikTok's actually switching now, which is this is the craziest thing. And I'm sorry, I'm geeking out on this a little bit because I'm really interested in social media.
I'm glad to understand it.
So this is how backwards these are, right? So Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, they're kind of dying out, right? They know they're not keeping up with TikTok. So they're trying to switch their platform to be more like TikTok. At the same time, TikTok's actually switching to longer form videos. So someone like me, who's already kind of an experience with YouTube, now I could convert my long form videos onto TikTok, and I'll probably do really well on that. And there's talks about TikTok actually incorporating more of like the lives with certain companies. So like, for example, like you might be able to watch, a streaming show on TikTok pretty soon, where there's going to be partnerships with like Netflix and Hulu, where you're going to only be able to watch the show on TikTok. So it's kind of interesting how it's all kind of playing out. But yeah, it's.
So does TikTok pay like YouTube does?
No, they don't pay per view like TikTok. I mean, YouTube pays per view, right? So they'll pay based on the Google ads, right? So anytime you're watching a video and all of a sudden it stops and it's like it tries to play an ad for you. So it's based on that. So AdSense is the Google payment source. Yeah, they'll monetize it every single time, and then they'll send you a check at the end of each month. You set the threshold. So after I have it under like for $100. So if it goes over $100, they'll send me the check right after, at the end of the month. I don't. There's not a lot of money there unless you're pumping out videos that are getting 1 million, 2 million. There's really not that. Where the money is on TikTok is the creator fund, right? So the creator fund, what happens is it opens it up for businesses to contact you, or the creator marketplace, for businesses to hit you up and work with you and partner with you. So there's that way to monetize. The other way to monetize it is through going lives, like doing the TikTok lives. So similar to kind of what we're doing here, except on TikTok. And I've done it a couple times, and it's pretty crazy because the way it likes to push out that content, like I'll start a live and all of a sudden it's like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 6,000 viewers. And then all of a sudden it just drops to like 300 and then back to 1,000. And then, so because people don't have on TikTok, they don't have a long attention span. So you're kind of flicking through really quick.
Right.
But it's interesting how it wants to push out the lives, right? So that kind of is an indicator that that's where they're heading. So anyways,
that's crazy. There's a local guy, this guy that's working on the Delorean, the fabricator. I've told you before, I believe, Gabe, but he's a fabricator, and one of his customers, he builds a lot of crazy vehicles that this guy goes and just videos destroying them and jumping them over ditches. And this guy has a following of he's working on 13 million subscribers. He's a multimillionaire, and he just has fun, and he's known for guns, and You know, him and our friend Bill Goldberg, they go out there and they're shooting that big, you know, gun that you see him Terminator, that big bastard that spins. I mean, the guy's got crazy stuff, but all because of YouTube. And it's like, because Brandon, he went over to Brandon to get this stuff, and this guy mentioned Brandon, and he's got 470 something thousand followers now because of this guy, you know, that has over 12 million.
Yeah.
You know, isn't that crazy? I mean, it's crazy, but I know it's like next to impossible to get to that. I don't know how you can get to those, you know, it's just I think it's a scam.
Yeah. Well, welcome, Bestman guy.
Yeah. Welcome.
Yeah, no, it's tough. And we'll see. I mean, you know, that's the crazy thing about social media, right? And that's kind of the scary thing about social media, is that a lot of people kind of put all their eggs in one basket, right? And they're relying on one platform, especially people that do it for a living, right? Obviously, none of us do it for a living. It's all just a hobby. It's, you know, we put it up. But, you know, there's a lot of people that actually do it for a living. And, you know, you got to remember, I mean, I don't know, you probably weren't worried about that, but like MySpace, right? MySpace overnight just kind of died out. Facebook, what's happening with Facebook too? I mean, it's just a matter of time before Facebook just dies out, and it's just all us old folk on, you know,
MySpace.
On Facebook.
Yeah, MySpace. Hey, Izzy, what were we talking about earlier?
Napster. Yeah, exactly.
Napster. We were talking about the Jerky Boys, and man,
I mean,
Izzy couldn't even talk. We were laughing so
I mean,
much.
just remember, even CDs. Damn it, DVD, Blu-rays, right? Like, good luck going in and trying to find, like, you know, a CD that you want these days, you know?
Yeah.
Everything switches so fast. But anyways, I'm always interested in that. I really like the social aspect of it, right? And kind of seeing these trends and how they shift, and, you know.
Yeah, because I'm just going to tell you straight up, you know, the Padawan.
Joey.
Yeah, Joey. I was looking through, you know, a lot of our groups that have always supported our channel, and I was looking back at them, and I saw that he was at almost 20,000.
Yeah.
Wow. And I was like, what the hell?
That's what I'm saying. And that's and when I started looking at his content, you could immediately tell. You look at the shorts, and the shorts are getting millions of views. But again, and Joey does a great job. I'm not like I'm not discrediting what he does. He edits these things beautifully. I mean, he puts a lot of time into it.
Yes, he does.
But it goes to show that YouTube's changing, and the algorithm's changing, and it's going to want to try to push out these little short videos. But the problem is, by the time they become TikTok already became something else.
Yeah,
so it's always going to be behind the times, and it's just crazy, like how that works.
It's crazy.
Armando says he's back to vinyl. Me too.
Yeah, and that's funny how that does a whole kind of spin too. Yeah, vinyl is actually back, even for all the newer bands. All the kids are all about vinyl.
Kidding. Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Even the clothes. Like Haley started school last week, and she's wearing a lot of the clothes that from Stranger Things. A lot of the kids.
Bell bottoms.
Yeah. I'm like, he's wearing that?
Go to Target and try to find a CD that you want to buy, and then ask them where their CD section is. And the vinyl section now at Targets are way bigger than the CD. Yeah, which is kind of crazy. Impressive. Man, Lee's on a. He's. Yeah.
If you hold on to it, it'll come back to style. Hate track.
Oh, man. Hey, I remember. I'm going to tell you a real fast story. I was.
Oh, Pete. Is this true, Michael?
Oh yeah, here you go. You had to bring that up. Hey, Lee, I want you to know, when I was a little kid, my mom, we were in this like little Nova, and it had an 8-track in there. And I'll never forget, I stuck my hand in the 8-track. And when, you know, those of you don't know what an 8-track is. No, like I know Gabe doesn't know. No, but really, when I put my hand in there, when I went to pull it back, the door that opens and closes was, you know, hitting on my hand, and I was screaming. and I had to wait till my mom came back out and got in the car because back then you could leave your kid in the car, it was okay, and I was like couldn't get my hand out of the 8-track.
No,
That's
man.
all I remember.
Well, guys, we have another guest that's coming on. I see him in the waiting room here. We got Ben Huckabee from Designs, and he's going to be joining us to talk about that beautiful helmet right there. So let's bring him on really quick.
Can you hang tight for a little bit, Izzy?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
What's up, Ben? How you doing, man?
What's up, man? Other than my house being 95 degrees right now, it's awesome.
Oh, that right? I mean, So I got to meet Ben in person a couple of days ago. I drove up to pick up the helmet and got to meet him. Great guy. And we were actually just talking about that, right? The heat. As soon as we walked out, it was like, holy crap! It just like hits you. Like, not used to it over here in California.
Yeah, it's been brutal most of the day. So
yeah,
it is what it is. So, you know
How
what?
you
Doing well. It's nice to speak with you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely, man. So first and foremost, as you guys can see, and I'll bring it down in a little bit, but that Boushh helmet, Ben, you did an amazing job. It looks great. It's obviously going to be a highlight in my collection. So thank you.
Yeah, it looks good back there, man.
Yeah. And but yeah, so I wanted to have you on to kind of talk a little bit about it because I haven't kind of posted a lot of stuff yet, but I know immediately what's going to happen is people are going to start asking me questions and all that. And I wanted to have somewhere to be like,
sure,
obviously we could send them to you, or we could be like, look, here's all the information on it. Let's go.
Okay. So, well, there's definitely a lot of we've talked about it. So probably a lot about what I'm about to talk about. Well, everything that I'm about to talk about is basically. So I've been working on this project for almost 2 years. My buddy Rodrigo, 3D Print Armory, he's the one that sculpted the model that the cast came from. So I guess we'll start there. So, but I've been invested in this thing for almost 2 years, and I mean the helmet itself is fairly documented as far as damage and scratches and things of that nature. But really what has been learned on my side is I'm going to talk about the sculpt and I'm going to talk about the paint because a lot of work has gone into getting the paint right because it doesn't matter what photographs you have of something in a gallery or on display, lighting always plays a factor. And sort of what was the game changer for me, I was allowed to view about, I don't know, there's probably 80 to 100 pictures of the actual screen-used helmet from the archives on every single angle, inside, outside, from above, from a bottom. And there's probably only a handful of people that have ever seen them. So I was really, really fortunate to be able to not only be able to view them once, but I got to see them multiple times. So while I was doing my paint research, I was able to sort of come back and go, well, maybe to adjust it. So I'm fairly confident that the way the paint is, the way that I'm doing it is pretty goddamn close to what the real thing really looks like. And I'll get into that here in a little bit. So let's start with the sculpt.
Yeah.
So my buddy Rodrigo, he has some proprietary software that he uses that uses photometry, right? And so what that does is you can take multiple pictures of any object and you can run it through a computer, and the computer sort of builds a three-dimensional model of the thing that you're doing, right? So all that's sort of doing is verifying the geometry, the shape, the size. I have some of the found parts, some of the found greeblies for Boushh, so it really helped verify what the scale and the size of the helmet really is. It's a very small, compare it. This Black Series Stormtrooper. It's very small. It's a very tiny thing. Carrie was only 5'1" and very petite when she did return, so that helmet is was sculpted to fit her, so it's pretty tiny. And then to verify the geometry, so like Battlefront 2, what's happening now in a lot of these video games is that I think it's Epic Games that they're given access to the archives, and they do a 3-dimensional scan of certain helmets, and then they bring them into the video game and create their own geometry. So some people know how to pull those models out of the video game, so we actually were able to do that, and all that did was verify the model that had been created by photometry, whether or not we were sort of in the right ballpark in it, and it did. Once those two things got confirmed, he built brand new geometry based on the photometry, and so it's a very asymmetrical, wonky helmet. The way that the real one really is. It wasn't just, hey, we did one side and then we mirrored it. So every little nuance and nook and cranny was specifically modeled based on all the references that we had. So we know that as far as scale and shape, it's very, very close to what the real thing is. And then the paint. So we know that the flow quill paints, right, were used on the original trilogy back in the day. These little model paints, guys. These little guys, right? So these paints. The fact that I can track these paints down is an absolute insane thing. These paints are 45 years old. They're the right vintage, and they for sure were used on all things original trilogy. Boba Fett for sure. And so that's where my paint research started. So I actually have quite a collection of the flow quills, and I believe that I have the 4 or 5 colors that were actually used on Boushh. And so my paint research was actually done with these paints, not reproductions, not anybody else's, color work, my own research. So that was a very long process, and there are some tones and some colors in the Boushh helmet that before I had started down that path, there weren't any flow quills that matched certain colors that are on the Boushh, and I never would have figured this out unless I had been given access to these photos that I mentioned before. And the key thing about these photos is that they are taken in a studio environment, so it's the ideal lighting. They've been color corrected. What you're seeing is what this helmet appears to be in real life. So once I was able to see those and sort of match my own paint test of what was going on, I knew where I was off on some things and where I was good at others. Long story short, what it ended up revealing is that the base coat and the undertones and how certain colors appear on the real helmet is actually done in a specific order, and it has to be layered at a certain opacity, so those shades sort of start to change. So as far as the paint goes, it's I would love to hold it up to the archives and see the tones, because basically what I did is I had my paint matched to the flow quills in a mass quantity, and I was able to shoot those. Shot my own test again, was able to compare them with the archive footage or the photos, and the second that I looked at it, I sort of went, I think that's it. that looks exactly like the same colors of what we're looking at. So yeah, I mean that's sort of the ins and the outs of how much time most of my time on this has gone into the paint and trying to be authentic about the process. And for those, I've done some of the bunker bombs. A lot of people have had me paint their bunker bombs. And I've used the flow quills in my paint research on those, and sort of using the real paints to recreate or do tests with has revealed a lot about probably how these things were really painted, which, I feel pretty confident about that. So I do have, if you guys can I screen share?
Yeah, definitely.
So I want to go over some of the highlights here of the helmet here.
Yeah, I know there's not a whole lot of people out there that have done this helmet yet. Is that correct?
So I got to correct. I only know of
Yeah, there's a couple. There cloth ears, right? Did
Now, I was getting ready to mention. I know Clothiers
yeah,
was
cloth
trying.
ears did a version of it. There's been a couple of versions. The problem with all of them is that first of all, the dimensions were never quite right. You know, the top part. I have it here, but like this top part was either too big compared to the snout. Like the snout would be too square. There was a lot of just issues with it, and I noticed it immediately, and that's why I've always been so hesitant. And I used to have another one over there, Michael.
I do remember now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that one was just kind of a fan made. It was just I don't even know which version it is. Tell you the truth, it was just but all resin, super heavy. You know, it was just not the best looking helmet. And I was always just kind of I'm just not happy. So I even took it off display, and I was just like, you know what? I remember I even tried to repaint it at one point. I was like, no, forget this. Like, I'm not even going to bother with it. And then I saw, you know, Ben started posting about the project, right? And even before he had even painted a single one, you know, he posted just the cast where the pressure cast, right?
Yep, that was the first one.
Yeah. So as soon as I saw those, you immediately could see it. I mean, you could. I mean, just by looking at it, I mean, you could see that the dimensions are right. Like it looks like Boushh, right? I mean, there's
so that the two main, so the little part on the top is a found part that's off a Ferrari model. It's the front end of the Ferrari. Yep, that part right there, and then the actual greebly that's in the snout. Yeah, right there, the longer one. So that's also a found part, you know, that were molded and cast. But those are the two biggest ones on the helmet, and so those really are key and crucial to getting the scale of everything else together, right? So when you do the photometry, you have this sort of, you know, 3D model of the helmet, but the computer doesn't know what the scale is, right? It could be this, it could be this, it could be tiny. But once you put in the dimensions of those greeblies and uniformly start to shrink that model down, we found that everything fit. So,
and that was one of the first things that I was like, okay, like this is legit. And I actually went and followed Rodrigo, you know, in his page, and kind of saw some of the process that he was doing to kind of match it. And I believe he ended up using one of the was it the mold from a prop shop auction, right? And I don't, Ben, you might know this a little bit. I think there was a prop shop auction that they were selling one of the original, and I think he put that into the system and kind of also, you know, used it to get the dimensions right?
Yeah. So RS owns the original buck for Boushh, and so, you know, RS. You know, they recreate everything the way that it really was done by vacuum forming, and so the buck is what is the physical piece that the plastic gets melted around. So, you know, I think it was over a year ago that when RS put their video out, when they had done their first pulls of the helmet. But again, you know, like Rodrigo was able to sort of use the same photo geometry, but that was, you know, the model had already been way done. So all that was doing was verifying whether or not we were on the right path of what we were actually doing, and it turns out that we were. You know, but, you know, obviously if RS has the real buck, nothing will ever be as accurate as that as far as the shape and size go. But, you know, we're for sure in the conversation in the ballpark. That's for sure.
Right. But paint, that's totally different, right? I mean,
paint is totally different. Hey, I had to restart Chrome to be able to screen share. The permissions on it. So let me bow out of here, and I'll be back here in just a second.
Okay, no problem. But yeah, man. I mean, this thing is just. I mean,
looks nice, man.
Yeah,
a really beautiful piece.
Yeah.
I mean, he did, and again, it's hard to tell with the lighting, right? But I mean, he just did such an amazing job on the paint, man. I mean, it's just spot on. It does light up here. Let me turn it on.
Yo do, right? Throw in an oh boy, Gabe. I'm just kidding.
I could do that voice pretty good too.
Did you say put it on? Did you say put it on?
No, no, you can't. She had such a small head that it's impossible to kind of put it on. Yeah. Like it fit my 7-year-old. But
Wow. So Izzy, are you into any of that type of? I know you're kind of like Joel and Matt. You're like big 6 scale guy.
Yep.
But are you into any of the life size, like the helmets or any of that?
I have the Chewbacca back there.
Oh.
I have a 3PO helmet. I have the R2 droid.
Where's the 3PO helmet from?
It's not even complete yet, so it's
okay.
a kit to assemble.
Yeah, that's a hard.
And then the R2D2s. I built a few of those droids. I've got another head and I got another body I need to build. And then
I remember seeing that head of the R2. That's weird.
there you go, Ben.
All right, cool. That's what I was wondering. That's trippy. All right, you guys can see this?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So some references of the real helmet on the right. I don't have all these sort of matched up, so just bear with me. So the one thing about all of these references that have this very here, for example, how this is so gray, right? That all of this appears to be super, super gray. That's just lighting. It's not like that at all. So take that into account. So when we're talking colors, and again, lighting is going to be a difference here. But some things I want to point out. There's this coloration that kind of bleeds through, and that's really solely based on the order in which the paint was laid down, what paint it was, and the opacity of it. And there was no other way to figure that out, like I said, other than just sort of doing my own tests. And I feel very confident that the colors that are that I'm using are exactly how it was. Little things to point out. You can kind of see here that I try and be authentic and replicating. I don't know if I can zoom in any more than I can, but you can see on the greeblies right here where they just glued it, right? You can kind of see that bubbles, and so it's sort of mimicked up here. There appears to be some kind of stippling of something on these greeblies, so they're not just right off the kits. There are exceptions to that. Pull some other stuff up here. So some considerable notices that you may or may not know about the helmet. So on the right side of the helmet, it is very gray underneath this and this side, and basically all of this is very gray compared to the left side of it. The left side is more sort of black or a heavier wash. So the kill stripes are. It's hard to see these references, but the photos that I've seen, so it appears to be drafting tape, and so I found some drafting tape, and as far as the texture of, sorry guys, so like I said, it's hard to see in these photos, but the real one, I think the tape is an actual match for what was actually used on the screen used, and I was telling Gabe. So I do all the leather work as well. So there's, the stitch count, there's 6 rows, there's 6 rows down here. And I can change the width of the stitch. And so there was some thought that went into trying to replicate, the size of the stitch as well. Trying just overall trying to be as authentic as I possibly can about the process. One thing that I guess is easy to see, but it wasn't until having a conversation with someone about this so a couple things. This is taken off of the RS video from these same reference photos. So you can see that on all of the markings, you can see where it was cut out, right? And so the reason for this is that this maroon color, that is the base color of the helmet. And so I laid down the same base, and I had stencils, and I tape it off, and then I cut them out, and and it matches exactly what's taking place. Some of this overspray that you see on here, there's some overspray that's intentionally put on mine to try and mimic that. Um, just from top to bottom, pretty much where all the damage, where everything appears to be, or how it was done. It's hard to see it here, but there is a gradient that goes from sort of an orangish color over back to this burgundy, and then darker down the road, and it's not all uniform. So it's just, there's a lot of little nuances as far as, you know, where the leather is worn, where it's scratched out. You know, it's all in there. On this side, which is the left side, which appears to be, or which is more black than the left side. Let's see if I get a shot of the left. Right, so see, it's not as dark, and it's more of a gray to sort of mimic all of that. All these greeblies, some of these are found parts, some of them are not. You know, and they're just not clean. They just appear to have some kind of texture that's, you know, been sort of applied to these things. This back damage and all this stuff. I'm trying to be pretty true to the process. All of this damage in here, up in here. The one thing that I think a lot of people miss is that these black stripes on the top, and if you see them, this black stripe up in here is actually the same tape. And so on the ones that I do, I actually have that same tape up in there. I believe that it's drafting tape. Just little details, like right here, that this seems to be, so the silver paint that was probably used on the screen used. I have that silver Flowco paint and have that matched as well. You know, it's just this little subtle stuff that, like, you know, the top and the bottom of this part is more silver, but then for whatever reason it's kind of matted out and splattered on the sides. And honestly, the paint details really starts with this because it's a pretty good look of what the actual colors are. And so it's really it's this underlying color that is what became an obsession of trying to figure out how it's done. And it's not a single color. It's done in a combination of layering certain paints. And once I sort of figured that out and could verify it on this specific part on the photos that I had seen, I knew that I was on the right path for sure. I don't know. You guys have any questions?
No, you're just checking all that out. And I mean, a lot of it, and I think the color, it's hard because the color's actually on the one that I have, like, it's more true to that kind of that picture that you're showing, right? A lot of people don't, you know, because on the pictures that you were showing, it looked kind of reddish, right? But and there's that red undertone, but you could see how it like gradient, like it's like such a subtle difference, right? Like in color,
for sure.
And I think that's where Ben did, like, man, such a great job just capturing that.
Actually, let me show you one more that you've got it up there. This is the one thing that's there's not. I mean, there is some reference, but as far as so the top, so there's some good views. There's a couple decent views of the top, but not straight down. And the photos that I was able to see, I basically have this shot. So there is this gradient thing that became sort of an obsession, where like these lighter spots right here, right up in the front, and then it gets really dark on the edges. I could not for the life of me figure out what was going on with those colors, right? And it was becoming a thing that I just could not. It was keeping me up at night because I didn't know what was going on, because that there isn't a flow quill color. So it just comes back to, you know, talking about this front spot, because what this color is this base color. And the only way to get that is a combination of 3 specific paints layered in a specific order at a certain opacity, you know, that I did probably, I don't know, 30 or 40 different tests of just trying to get lucky. And once I got it, I was like, oh shit, that's it. That's exactly what it is. So the top for sure, I would say, is a very accurate, pretty good accuracy as far as with the tones, the color, the shades, and what it sort of really looks like. And you can see on the original that like not any of this stuff was masked out. It's a very, very different paint job than, say, Empire Strikes Back, Fat Hero helmet. It's just not the same thing. It's a completely different approach to it. And as far as I know, right, there was only one helmet made, right? There's not more than one. So I think it's just a one-off. I could be wrong about that, but I don't think that there is more. But the top is, I'm very happy with how the top came out. A lot of time and effort went into, the fact that I was given access to some of these photos. It just seems like it would be a shame not to really get that right, because it really is an angle that nobody else has really seen in that light, or very well. So a lot of my notes.
Where did those photos come from, Ben?
I can't say anything about. All I know is that probably a handful of people have seen them, and I'm fortunate to see them, and they are amazing. They're everything that you want them to be.
Yeah, that's cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Are you making like a run of them? How many are you doing? I'm not real familiar, so I'm asking.
Yeah, so they're available. I think I've got somewhere around 10 spots left. I was doing kits in the beginning, so I've sold a bunch of kits. For anybody that's watching, so they're $1,400, $700 down. Got about 3 to 5 month turnaround is what I'm going to have on these. So the casts are actually done by a third party. They're guy's been in the business out here in Hollywood 30 years, and so these are professionally casted helmets. So the quality just is fantastic. So there's a little bit of cost for sure on my end, cost of the cast. The helmets come with the lighting kit. Obviously the leather work. There's a lot of little moving pieces on this thing. So I will tell you this: Adam Savage bought a kit. And he's been in contact, and so I think he's going to feature it on his one-day build. So I'm sure that's going to bring some traffic. So if you're watching and you want one, I would jump on it, because I don't know if I'm going to. So I've done I think 20 helmets at this point that have already been pulled from the molds, and the molds only last somewhere around 30, 40 pulls, and then you got to do it again. But I'm not sure if I'm going to do it again. So I know for sure I can still get somewhere around 10 more pulled out. So if you want one, I would jump on it, because what's ever not left, I'm sure once Adam features it, it's going to be a thing, hopefully.
Yeah.
Or who knows? Maybe I'll be forced to do more molds. I guess I don't know, depending on how many come in and whatnot.
Well, and again, I mean, the level of detail that Ben put on it's just crazy. And again, at first, it is one of those helmets, and I think Ben even told me, when I picked it up, he's like, you thought I was gonna look at it and be like, man, this is bad, poorly made, right? But once you start looking at all the like imperfections, right, and that's what makes the helmet, right? I mean, it's that's what I love. I love that whole, just kind of get it as, as closest to something that you would see in the archives. Mm-hmm. And again, even just like little details that Ben was pointing out, like it's like the glue. He's like, that glue that you actually see it. It's like on purpose, kind of just left, showing.
What's funny, Gabe, is these original people that put all these costumes together, where a lot of them were under the gun and they went really quick. And a lot of them look back at people like us, and especially like Ben, who really takes the time to recreate something so perfect from the original, and they laugh because they put it together so quick and so simple, and we were talking about that with the medical frigate, We built that studio scale model in 24 hours, and this took him 2 years to replicate that exact model,
Here, I'll tell you a fun story. Just to that point. So the bunker, when I was doing the bunker bombs, right? The casing has some kind of texture that's added, right? So the found parts have been made. I know this isn't the orange one, but this is this is the same found part, right? So it's smooth. There's no texture. So the one in the movie has texture on it, and I was trying to replicate that texture. My guess was maybe it was some kind of old dish sponge, right? That was just sort of stippled on the paint, or the paint was almost dry and they sort of stippled, but nothing I did satisfied me that that's how it was done. When I can't figure something out like that, it becomes an obsession. And I can't let it go. And there's really no way to find out. Right? There's nobody to ask. Sometimes there are, but in this case, it was not. So I've got about 30 or 40 of these flow quills, right? And I was spraying them to do my own color swatches. So when I'm doing things for the original trilogy, I have a good reference of the actual colors that I can sort of match up and figure out what was going on. And in that process, it was actually the brown for Boushh when I was shooting it. That paint's really thick. And as I was spraying it, it was just it wasn't coming out smooth. And so instead of like doing the thing that you should do, clean it out and dilute the paint a little bit, all you do is you turn the air pressure up and you just try and force it out the gun. And as that was happening, I'm looking at my spray card. I went, that's the goddamn bunker bomb texture right there. 100% is what that is. And that's exactly what it is. It was whoever was airbrushing the color on there just turned up the air pressure on the airbrush and kept spraying it. And that's exactly what the texture on the bunker bomb is. 100%.
That must have been.
That's the part about I'm a paint nerd, obviously. This is all I talk about. I just love trying to reverse engineer things, and it's very helpful to have these paints, especially on the original trilogy stuff, because I've been able to learn a bunch of stuff that there's no other way to figure it out unless you had those paints to start with. So
Yeah.
Especially with Boushh, so if you're familiar with my work, a lot of the stuff that I do is all very custom. Stuff that could exist in the Star Wars universe. So Boushh, is a different thing, and I'm trying to be as authentic to the process as I can, and then having been given access to some awesome photos and seeing all the tiny little details of, where there's a glue spot, or where the tape is bent, or where the tape is not, like if you look at on the front of the tape line where it comes from on the front, it tails off towards the middle, and it's in those instances it's how it really is. It's just somebody that just did it quick and wasn't I'm just really trying to recreate that. The inside, the visor, there's not really any sexy way to install the visors or glue in the light kit, and so I just try and make it look neat. I've seen some of the insides of the photos, but that stuff was just hot and glued in. That's how it was done. So,
is that what you do, Ben? You can you create characters in the Star Wars universe, you try to create new characters or something? Or
Ben, do you have some pictures on your computer from some of your work?
Yeah.
Amazing stuff. Ben was showing. I got to see some of, obviously, at his shop. I got to see some of his stuff, and I mean, the stuff he creates, I mean, literally could have been right out of the movie.
Oh, if you haven't seen any of my stuff, this is gonna.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. I know this is only 6 scale, what I'm going to tell you, Ben, but we've got a guy, Joel Hosse. He's a good friend of mine.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. We've done some work together, actually.
And I'll tell you what, that guy can create some badass custom figures. Just holy
here
shit.
I have. We'll start with this one. Here's some of Joel's stuff. So Joel was helping me visualize my concepts to clients, right? And so this guy right here was actually what started this whole thing for me, this custom. So I sort of sent him the file and he printed it out, and then we came up with this thing with the robot arm, right? And then what this thing evolves into is so here's the concept art that it was based off of. And so I sent this to Joel, and Joel sort of did his version of it, and then this is what we end up getting.
Dude, badass, dude. I didn't even know that. That's really cool. What a small world.
Yeah. So I got tired of shooting helmets all by themselves. So I bought a mannequin and was like, I just want to start shooting them like this. So this is where it started. Here's this custom Tuscan guy that I made.
Dude, that's pretty freaking cool. What do you do with these characters once you've created them?
They've all been sold. But yeah, I've turned into sort of the half bust guy now. So a lot of people want me to do half busts for their displays. Here's a Sabine that I did last year based on a good friend of mine, Adam Hartel. This is his concept art, his fan art. And then this is what it turned into.
Beautiful work.
Nice.
And
that's half bust, you said, or was that a full scale?
Half busts. And then I wanted to do this sort of female Crimson Dawn bounty hunter. And so again, my buddy Adam, we came up with this concept, and he sketched this thing out for me. And it turned into this.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
Yeah. So actually, what's crazy is that all these half busts, I think were done in a 7-week period. Here's a Gar Saxton doing his best Jon Snow impersonation. This was my swing at taking. What's going on here? I wanted to see if I could create my own original Star Wars character that was sort of based on some unused Nephis Nest concept and a medical droid. This is how that dude turned out. He's actually sitting back there behind me.
That's cool.
And then this guy in the background. It's just the so Ubis or Ubes is what the Boushh species is, and so I just sort of wanted to do like some variation of what some another guy could sort of look like. I just love how this guy turned out for sure. So
really cool. Yeah, the Star Wars universe is it's crazy how much is out there. I mean, you could do, it's never ending, the amount of stories that can be created and different type of based TV shows off of characters, right?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm, I do a lot of custom stuff. I live in a concept world. I wake up in the morning, I'm just on the hunt for new unused Star Wars concept art. There's just so many, possibilities of what you can do. So I don't know. The custom world is definitely becoming more of a thing in the community for people that cosplay and whatnot. And it's great to see it. But it's, a lot of people tell me that it's sort of hard to take something that and you love, right, and then do something different with it, but still looks like it belongs in that universe. So I really put a lot of effort into trying to create characters that could literally walk onto screen, and you would go, man, why? I would love to. Why can't we see that? Why would I not want to see that? So,
yeah. I have a character that was created for the film, but could really be used. And I worked with a gentleman, Richard Riley, creating the Wampa. And in my heart, I really feel that it's exactly what George Lucas was looking for. It turned out fantastic.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's quite a collection all of you guys have behind you.
Yeah. Thank you. We can't hear you, Gabe.
We've got.
You're muted, Gabe.
Sorry, there you go. Yeah. So the Star Wars looks he's saying, can't wait for the Nephis Nest. So it looks like you got a couple of the castings there. And I know I saw you had a bunch of castings ready.
There's a bunch sitting over here, and to go show you. So this is this was the master. To give you, so again, this is a project I've been working on for over a year now. But all of the reference for this guy, right? It appears to have sort of like a brown, tan, dinosaur fossilized bone, right? And so that's what I was going for. That's exactly what this looks like as far as the reference, or at least it's on its way. The day that I painted this 2 weeks ago on a Friday, I woke up Saturday morning and I went, well, here's the thing with the Nephis Nest. There is virtually no behind the scenes reference. There's a couple shots from something that was in Rogue One on Empire Magazine. And it's been on display a few times, but all the references of it being on display, including at Lucasfilm, is very brown and tan, right? And then I was like, I wonder if my buddy over in the UK who works on Star Wars might have some information for me. So I messaged my buddy, and he was like, matter of fact, did work on it, and showed me a picture, which I can't share, but it's not brown at all. It's white. It's very like a bone blue-gray, and it's not brown weathering. It's black weathering. So I'm glad that I have that as reference now to make adjustments on the Nephis Nest. But very much looking forward to that. And then the next thing on the pipeline, man, oh man, might be one of my all-time favorite Star Wars designs for sure. Mr. Benthic Two Tubes, which is coming soon. Yeah, I love this design so much. I got a good friend of mine who runs an animation studio in Croatia. He is a gifted digital sculptor, and I teamed up with him. So this is our personal sculpt of Benthic. There are no files. There will be no kits. It'll just be this. Anybody that's interested can shoot me a DM. Instagram is the best way to get hold of me. Just shoot me a DM. That's where I do most of my business through the old Instagram.
And there you go. And you're on Instagram, on the platforms, you're Dirty Road Designs, right?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter, although I'm never on Twitter because it's the worst place in the world.
Yeah. Look at this one. Andrew says, love to see your take on a McQuarrie 3PO head. Yeah, that'd be interesting. All rusted and kind of.
Is that we're talking about the original concept art that Anthony Daniels fell in love with?
Yeah.
There's people printing them. I've seen them printed. I would love to have that. Like Joseph got one, and it's a pretty good one. Yeah. But I would love to have that 3PO head as well, a McQuarrie, but a real plated one. That'd be badass.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, thank you so much. I mean, both of you guys for jumping on. We're still going to be talking, so if you guys want to stick around and hang out, we'd love to have.
Yeah, hang out for a second. Yeah. I'll nerd out and talk some Star Wars. Why not?
Yeah. Well, in fact, we're gonna go. I wanted to talk a little bit about the studio scale stuff because Michael, you're working on another studio scale, right?
Yeah.
Shocked.
Right. As if a 8-foot Star Destroyer and a over 8-foot freaking medical frigate wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this next project. Let me bring that up real quick.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's a 41-inch scratch built. It's not 3D printed. That is a cast 41-inch blockade runner right there that Mike Salzo's building for me, and he's been updating me recently with. He's been working on a couple things. Yeah, he's working on the lighting today. These were from today right here.
Man.
Yeah, this has been in the works. Yeah, that's a cool one.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's gonna be badass. I love the blockade runner.
Yeah.
And
now, are all the Greeblies and stuff from model kits, is that authentic to the? Somehow you guys have tracked down what kits were used?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So there's, as you know, kind of like in your deal, there's I don't know, Ben, if you've seen some of the models that I've posted or showed or we've showed on Collection Wars, but these are all a lot of guys that have done a lot of stuff for Disney and Launch Bay, and there's a small group of people that create different kits. So it might be the TIE Fighter or the A-Wing. In this case, this was a small run that was cast of Blockade Runner.
So let me show Ben what we showed last time. So
I was mentioning to you earlier.
This is
that
all kit bashed. So all original model parts.
That's crazy.
All right. So that's my latest.
That's nuts. That's nuts. And the most nuts part about it is, the people that figured out what each of those little parts are.
Yeah.
Because there's no way that's a quick process, right?
Yeah,
There's no
that's
way.
right. Took him over 2 years to build that. Mm-hmm. And that model actually, there's a lot of reference. So it's just a lot of those kit parts are very, very hard to come by. You know what I mean? So
I do know.
And the original kit parts too. You can see a lot of the submarine pieces and stuff there. That
I mean, there has to be what, $10,000 just in old model kits at least.
I don't know the exact number of them. I know that some of those parts are like $1,000 for like a kit. A lot of people are getting these kits and they're casting them, because you can't find them anymore. You can see the Wampa in the background over there.
Oh,
yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but that's a badass kit right there. That one's very accurate too. Zero 3D print.
That's amazing. Hats off.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm lucky to have that thing. That's for damn sure.
So this is, and then you sent me this too. So these are your new bases, right?
Yeah, those are the new bases that I'm working on right now. So
nice. Look really nice.
Thanks, yeah, I've got a bunch of them that I'm doing. I'm just don't know if they're going to end up being black or not. And they're different heights, so they'll be like in flying pattern. It'll be really cool.
Jason's helping you out with those, right?
Jason's doing all of the bases with all the etching, and he's actually supposed to ship them all out next week. There's almost 15 of them.
Yeah,
just the first one that he's doing for me.
Yeah, man. I mean, Jason Eaton does some really cool stuff. I mean, especially with all the bases, they just look really nice and clean. Yeah. And then you're working on it, and I'm assuming this is for the restaurant, or I don't know. Is it?
This one's going to be for the restaurant that you're going to show. That's the studios. It's close to studio scale. There's not a lot of reference on this ship at all, but this one right here is ET's ship. And I'll tell you, and Mike Salzo's building this, and he completely redid the dome. It's going to be very, very accurate when it's done. It's a beautiful kit. It's a really, really cool kit. So hopefully these two will be done. He was telling me yesterday November, December, he's to have the Blockade Runner and the ship, and then moving on to the next one.
That's going to be great.
Yeah.
But are these just one-offs for you? Commissioning?
No, that like on the Blockade Runner, I don't know how many there are. There's, I think, and I don't know for sure, but I think there was maybe only like 10 kits made, but I'm not real sure about that. On that AT ship, I'm not even sure. It's
so he kit bashes them, and then they get molded, and you guys can do a very limited.
Yeah. Every thing is different. Like I've got this land speeder right here, and that there's only 8 of them out there in the world. You know what I mean? So it just depends on what it is. So
yeah.
Look at that room. I mean, holy smokes!
What's that?
Your space.
Oh yeah,
that's crazy.
Oh.
Thank you.
Well,
I love these studio scale models. I can't wait to get that Blockade Runner though. I'd like to have the 7-foot one. So even though it's a studio model, that 41-inch isn't accurate from the film, but it's accurate in the details of the parts and whatnot, but not of the 7-foot model. That would be nice to have. That Sean Sides just finished up. Gabe, do you remember that?
Yeah.
Remember Sean's 7
Yeah,
foot?
yeah.
He's the one that has the 5-foot Falcon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to get one of those, the 5 foots.
Man, it's definitely one of my dreams to have that, you know, and there's some people that watch our show. There's one guy in particular that hops in on our show all the time, and he's doing a beautiful 5-foot Falcon. There's not many of them out there, you know what I mean? That are legit, you know. Yeah, to have that is
Yeah. Hey, Michael, and also I'll give you guys a little sneak peek that eventually, hopefully next week, if not the next week, we're going to have John from L Street Precision.
Yes.
Some of that stuff arrived, and I mean, guys, this is like obviously historic work, right? I mean, so L Street Precision was hired by Lucasfilm to create some of the machine parts for, you know, some parts, some C-3PO parts, but mostly the Boba Fett parts. And when John took it over, you know, this guy came up and wanted to do. Anyways, we're gonna have a whole discussion about it, but I just kind of want to give you guys a sneak peek. Like, the rocket came in,
Sweet.
or the laser, right? It's a laser.
And these aren't mass produced. These are very small. How many of those did he do? Like, there's only like 4 or 5 of them, isn't there, Gabe?
You know what? I forgot.
I don't think there's that many of them.
No, I think for the ears, I think that one was only like 20 ears or 19 ears, which this is one of them.
Look at this. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So these are machine, basically with the same machines that they did the originals with. And he's really cool because he sent over like the blueprints that they originally used, copies of the orders, like the actual like invoices from Lucasfilm. So it's kind of cool. So I'm gonna, once we get all this, we're gonna do a show on it, and then I definitely want to set up a really nice kind of museum style display for all the Boba Fett.
And Elstree, they did a lot of the tooling, a lot of the guns, right? And I know they did a lot of the stuff for C-3PO.
They did some of the parts. Yeah, a lot of the aluminum kind of machine parts that they got hired to do, because that's what they are, right? They're kind of a, I guess, I don't know is it a milling shop? I don't know what it would be called. Is it a
milling shop? Yeah, milling CNC.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, the details and
yeah,
you got to be he's very precise about everything.
The company's called Elstree Precision. Kind of like Elstree Studios, because that's where they film, right? Like that's where they would film. So it's that whole area. It's like this whole like kind of little industrial area there where the studios is, and they have like all the different shops all around there. Pretty much all went and hired. I was talking to John about it, and he'll give us more information. But yeah, there's other shops around there that were doing other parts for Star Wars. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That little area just has so much history.
Yeah, and then all the stuff that when he took over, he got to keep all of the stuff that was used from when he had a lot of stuff. Yeah, he's a super cool dude, man. It would be fun having him on the show.
Yeah, he sent me a bunch of the old parts that were just kind of laying around, like a caliper, I mean, just a bunch of stuff that's from the shop, which, I mean, it's hard to know exactly what was used and what actual things were used back then, but they were there, and it was,
He sent me a 3PO part, part that was used, and he's got it stamped. I'm like, holy shit, this is cool. I'm like, hey, Gabe, what is this?
Yeah, and I was like, I think it's the
John sent me a detailed description of what it is. Yeah.
Oh, he did? He sent you what it is?
Yeah, it's like an interplay, like what they used. Yeah, we'll talk all about it.
We'll talk about all that, but I'll bring it up.
Okay, speaking of C-3PO, so the little silver thing on the end of the round thing on Boushh, right? It's the C-3PO piston on the neck.
Yeah,
it's the same part.
That's good. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he sent me, guys. What Gabe just pulled up. And it's stamped on the back, 3P Elstree, and then a little certificate of authenticity. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So we're gonna have John. We're gonna try to interview him. We're just trying to figure out how to do it. Because again, the time difference. Obviously, he's in the UK. So we're gonna try to do the interview, and then we'll play it, kind of give some history of just the Elstree Precision and what they did for Star Wars. So it'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool.
But yeah, man. But we're about to hit the 2-hour mark, Michael.
Yep.
So I think it's a good time to call it a night, unless you have something else.
Man, not that I can think of this evening.
Yeah.
No.
Well, Ben, Izzy, thank you so much for jumping on. Again, it's always great to hear directly from the artist.
Thank you.
All these cool things and all the time that you guys put into your work is just amazing. Yeah. We're happy to give you a platform to come in and tell people about your stuff, and really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. So anyone who's interested in getting that detention block, 6 scale diorama, hit up Izzy. 15, right, Izzy? And for now, it's just gonna be
just 15 of them. Yeah.
So make sure to hit up Izzy if you guys are interested in one of the Boushh helmets or any other awesome helmets, the Emphas Nest or anything else that Ben makes.
All my stuff's on Instagram, Dirty Rogue Designs. If you need it, I can make it for the most part.
Yep.
But Boushh, Emphas Nest, 2 tubes are the big projects that are happening.
Yeah.
And Izzy, they can get a hold of you on the Collection Wars, right, Gabe?
Yes, sir. Yeah. You'll be able to get a hold of me on the Collection War Facebook page.
Okay, that's what I mean.
Perfect. All right, guys. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. Keep out of the heat if you're over here in Southern California. I think most of California is going through this crazy heat wave. I know, Michael.
We've been getting rain, man. It's been raining a lot today. I mean, you don't even know what it's like.
Just rubbing it in.
We haven't had it, Ben. We have been. I mean, we went almost 4.5 months with not a drop of rain in this area.
Where are you at?
Texas.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
it's
just
like rain
from Oklahoma City.
So we finally got a couple, but like the Guadalupe River is completely dry. So it's been bad. But yeah.
Well, cool. Well, thanks everybody again, and have a great long weekend. Right, a lot of people are gonna be off on Monday, so enjoy that. Exactly.
Yeah. Right? Extra day of sleep.
Well, Ben, thanks for joining us. Izzy, my brother. We'll talk soon. Thanks for everything that you're doing on the little tank.
Oh yeah. Wait.
Don't break my toy, dude.
Oh, it'd be like brand new, man. It's just one piece.
You're awesome.
All right, guys. Well, everybody have a great night.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, actually, you know what? Housekeeping thing, Michael, just a heads up. Next week, I'm actually going to be at a convention, D23 convention. So I might have to do the whole, hotel room kind of deal, So just a heads up there. And then the week after that, I'll be in Chicago to go to a concert called Riot Fest. And so I'll be there for that weekend. So that one.
You wear a tank top at the Riot Fest or what?
Hell yeah. Just a bunch of these old punk bands too that I haven't.
People have been blowing me up all night about the tank top game.
See,
you're famous, bro.
It is what it is. If they,
everyone's been telling me to wear a tank top. I'm gonna have one on. I'm gonna cut this into.
You should. You did. You should have done a muscle tee, like a straight.
Yeah, you didn't tell me.
1980s muscle tee. All right.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Yep.
Good night, everybody.
Take it easy. Have a good night.